The story continues as we see Ragna infusing his silverine aura into the weapon. The princess then asks Isaac to test Ragna's silverine sword against her. Isaac strikes the princess's sword, creating a crack in it. Everyone is surprised to see this, and Crimson tells them that it's expected, boasting that Ragna has only put in a bit of silverine. The princess asks if it will remain boosted for a long period of time. Ragna explains that normally, the swords won't endure as long because they might lose to the power of silverine, but this sword is well made, so that is not a problem. The princess says that these are the swords she personally made and tells Ragna that his silverine is not half bad. Isaac feels relieved as the princess can somehow hold a conversation with Ragna. The maid says that she has set her mind on the course of attitude she should take. We see that the reason she is able to hold a conversation is that she has closed her eyes. The princess then asks them to bring all the weapons to Ragna. The scene changes, and we see that Ragna is fighting some soldiers and also infusing silverine into their sword. One by one, soldiers attack him, but he defeats them and infuses their weapons with silverine. After defeating a bunch of soldiers, Ragna wonders if it's a good idea for him to be doing this. He then gets a flashback of Crimson informing him to leave half of the silverine for himself and use half to infuse the core weapons. He also tells him not to use silverine battle arts in the next fight because it might turn bad if he does. Ragna thinks to himself that he knows that his body is not in the best condition, but his body can still move, and fighting by himself would be the best course. However, he is confused as to why Crimson asked him not to use silverine battle art. He wonders why these people really want to cut him in half and if he did anything that made them mad. If he did, he wants to say sorry. He is clueless as ever, but the soldiers are upset because of Silverware Princess. They are upset because our boy made her fall for him. They all curse him, which makes Ragna nervous, and he wants to finish this quickly and go back to his jail. Suddenly, Shin comes there to challenge him. All people cheer for him as he is also one of the chief swordsmen. He tells Ragna that he is not like other soldiers and was confident that he could defeat Ragna. But the next moment, Shin is lying on the ground, and Ragna tells him that he is indeed strong, as he didn't have time to put silverine while fighting. He thinks that Shin is stronger than Leo. Shin tells Ragna that he doesn't need his sympathy, and runs away crying. The crowd curses him for getting defeated. The scene changes, and we see both Shin and Graham crying in a corner. Chris comes to both of them and asks them to stop crying. Shin tells him that he is not crying and asks Chris to fight Ragna. Chris tells him that he already lost to Ragna but has made his weapon even stronger. Shin asks Chris how he could be so calm when he just lost. Chris tells him that it's natural for a warrior to desire a strong weapon, right? That's the reason he got into the core, after all. He says that now he might even be able to kill a superior dragon like Butter. Shin tells him that getting stronger and holding a strong weapon is different from feeling stronger by holding a strong weapon. Chris says that he can understand why Shin is being stubborn. Ragna is so strong at such a young age, moreover, with a special power stronger than the commander. He feels the difference of being born gifted, and he says that he is also frustrated. Graham tells Chris that Ragna is not gifted, it's the exact opposite. He says that he only fought him for a moment, but he is sure that Ragna is the ungifted one who has trained his body beyond the limit of his training. That is what he felt. Chris asks if he means that Ragna is way older than he looks. Graham says that he doesn't know about that, but what he feels is real and it made him realize that he has turned complacent in this age, and it's frustrating. Chris then asks if that's why he was so down. He thought it was because their commander fell head over heels for Ragna. Graham tells him that's also the reason. Shin then gets up to leave, and Chris asks where he is going. Shin says that he is bored of listening to a wimpy old man and that he will fight Ragna again. He will keep fighting him as he doesn't want to be just an accessory to a strong one on the battlefield. The scene changes, and we then see the twins asking Ragna for his name, with Shin lying beaten up near him after his 7th defeat. The twins then ask Ragna what he thinks of Lady Leah. Ragna tells them that he doesn't understand, so the twins ask whether he likes her or hates her. Ragna says neither, as he just met her. They keep insisting on asking him and tell him that the princess says that Ragna is cool. He says that he's a little bothered about that because his face is wrapped with a bandage and she couldn't know. He says that she must have just imagined that he looks cool under all of these bandages. But actually, he's not at all. He says that once the bandage is off, he knows that she will be disappointed. The scene changes to Fu, who explains what mana is. He says that it is a power that can change the world. Now, he questions what magic is. The answer is that it's the method that directs the changes caused by mana. Gathering mana by the fingertips and chanting the spell burn is one way to manifest it. There are also other ways, such as finger signs like in Naruto, which can also manifest fire. There are many methods to manifest the same change, and those who master them, among them, are the superior dragons who can manifest powerful magics. The flowing blood in their bodies itself manifests into magic. Just by imagining the change into reality, they can do powerful magic as they like. Of course, it makes them powerful. That's why thaumaturges copy the dragon's method of manifestation. The drawing that replicates the flowing blood, the magic circle, is used. Like a heart in the middle of the magic circle, veins pass through it to let mana circulate. After accumulating many years of research, they rely on the dragon's power. That is the mission of thaumaturges. After all the explanations he gave, he still fails to create a perfect teleportation circle. His team members tell him that they have made the circles for teleportation and absorption, but it won't work well because to teleport one person, they need to kill 15 lesser dragons, and they have 18 people in the basement. They say that they won't even make it by killing all the dragons that attack them. One of the members thinks it got more complicated by setting the teleportation to human only. Other guys suggest leaving only that part out, but if they do that, even the dragons will get teleported to the destination, and then it won't be an escape. Few realizes that working overnight consecutively is messing with his subordinates' heads. They are using previous research results, which can only get them this far. Few realizes that from here on, innovation needs to be on a trial and error phase, but there is no time for that, as the dragons can arrive tomorrow. He panics and says that at this rate, before the dragon arrives, the commander will have his head first. He thinks of running away, and one of his subordinates hears it, but Few tells him he is just hallucinating. Crimson comes in and says that it's not a hallucination, though. He tells Few that he just said he'll run away. Few is shocked and asks him why he is here. Crimson says that they need him, telling them that they need him right now. He says that all of them desire novel knowledge and ideas that can get them out of this slump. The scene changes to Zora remembering the words Ultimacia said about saving him from his suffering. Zora tells that he thought, what kind of crap is this woman spouting? But that is exactly what happened. He says that the fire of hatred that scorched his body was gone. He states that he still has his memory as a human, and yet he cannot remember the emotions attached to them. All he has is a deep love for the dragon monarch, who had taken all of his dearest possessions. He says that the most shocking thing is that he doesn't even feel any dishonor. He thought that he would remember something once he got here. He asks Terictra what he thinks. Terictra tells him that one thing doesn't change, they are still soldiers. He tells Zora that he won't let him taste another indignity for losing their master, even if that master is the dragon monarch who killed his master when he was a human. He says that even if they have turned into dragons, this remains the same. That's their fate, their way of life. Zora and the other dragons discuss what to do next. Zora suggests two options: destroy the country and kill those who attacked Ultimacia. Volta Kamui advises ignoring Ragna and his ally, considering them prey. Zora questions if Volta Kamui plans to pursue them, calling him an idiot. Volta Kamui asks why he's being called an idiot. Zora points out that the enemy exploited his absence to attack Ultimacia, emphasizing the seriousness of the situation. Ultimacia lost her time control magic, and her death would be game over for all of them. As her bodyguard, Zora insists on keeping a close watch. Kamui dismisses Zora's concerns, stating he doesn't take orders and was directed by the monarch to take the enemy's head. Ultimacia retracts her emotional order, agreeing with Zora and feeling relieved after venting. Volta Kamui comments on Ultimacia's quick emotional changes and asks about a passionate exchange on the bed. Ultimacia acknowledges losing her senses, but regaining them. Zora inquires about the exchanges on the bed, but Kamui refuses to divulge details. Ultimacia urges them to stop discussing it. Nebulum interjects, predicting the enemy's return without actively searching. Zora requests proof, and though Nebulum lacks concrete evidence, he sensed it during the fight. A flashback reveals their vow to kill each other, and Zora praises Nebulum's fearless demeanor. Ultimacia questions Zora about destroying the country with Kamui, and Nebulum by her side. Zora reassures her and expresses the challenge of killing humans kindly. He explains the original plan to erase people in the royal capital with Nebulum's barrier, then move to another city. However, they have lost half of their forces. Ultimacia understands and instructs Zora to swiftly and securely kill everyone without leaving anyone behind. Zora suggests an easy solution: they can order the beasts. They plan to use the 40,000 lower and medial dragons they have gathered from within and beyond the country to devour everything. Zora asks Borges to command them, and Borges agrees. However, he should also search for Ultimacia's attackers. If they are still within the country, they might leave some clues. Kamui intervenes and asks if the Reaper is with the Argentum Corps. Zora says that if that happens, he will call him. Borges feels relieved as the bloodline's matured dragons have halved, but they still have reliable ones. With them, they can manage to continue supporting the progenitor. Zora asks Terictura about his thoughts. Tora says that they should not die. They are the bloodline's mature dragons and the progenitor's limbs. They should be of use. However, limbs are not supposed to be easily cut, yet they're down to half already. He says that they have to understand this humiliation and that one more failure is the same as total defeat. He asks them not to die and to carry out their duties. This brings an end to our episode.